Hi, I'm Bonnie Browning with the American Quilter Society. For this interview, I am here with royalty. Marilyn Badger from St. George, Utah is the Janome Best of Show winner. And this is the first time for you, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I'm just awestruck.
At the awards presentation, you were totally surprised, weren't you?
I was. You know, I didn't get an email since I've been gone about the fact that I'd even won anything, so I wasn't expecting to win.
So we went past your category.
You did.
And then we went past the best long arm.
Yep.
And then now you're thinking,
no way,
I didn't
I'm done.
win anything.
Right.
Well, it was fun to see you, and it was fun that you were surprised.
Oh, yes, it
But
was.
you shouldn't have been, because this is a gorgeous quilt.
Oh, thank you so much.
So let's talk a little bit about the quilt, about your inspiration for making it, first of all.
Okay. Well, you know, after my husband passed away, it's been almost 3 years, I had a really difficult time getting back to quilting, because the quilting part was always my field of expertise, and he was such a big thing in my quilting career. So I needed a therapy project, and therapy to me is piecing, since I'm quilting all the time. So I just decided to make a quilt, just piecing a quilt for me, and with no intentions of entering it, no deadlines or anything like that. And so it took a year and a half, and it was a really good therapy session. It got me through all of that, and I enjoyed the process because I didn't have deadlines.
Well, and certainly you did a major amount of embroidery and beading on this that we haven't seen on some of your other quilts.
Right, and I'm really enjoying that. So I probably spent the largest part of the time on the quilt doing the beading and the embroidery. Then I had a friend who I had to come and slap my hand and say, okay, enough, get it going with this quilt. I'd probably still be sewing beads on it.
Well, and so about the piecing, now did you do that as foundation or just regular piecing?
No, I did paper piecing.
Okay, so that's
I
why you have sharp points.
Right, you know, and I took a friend of mine, Gail Garber, came to town, and I took a drafting class from her on drafting stars and circles, and that's kind of how it started. I did that center star that way, and then it just built from there.
Well, I know as your quilt has been hanging here, everybody is curious about the edge treatment.
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising to me. I don't know of all the things, but when I added that final big scallop border, I thought, well, I got to tie something into that along the edge, and so I made all the little half circles and sewed them together and put it on the quilt.
And you did it in 2 layers, not
I did.
just 1 layer,
Right.
2 layers of
Yeah.
half circles.
Yeah, I
so
wanted
was
to
that
get
hard to sew
No,
in?
no. You know, and it didn't seem to take me that long, but I just cut out half circles with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and faced them and turned them and pressed them, and of course I had measured to see what size that I'd need to make them come out even.
Right.
And then just sewed them together in one long strip, the 2 layers. And I butted it up against the edge of the quilt and zigzagged it on so I wouldn't have a seam to turn, and then covered it with a binding.
And so you have like a facing as a binding
do.
on the back side then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, now you all know the secret to this beautiful edge to her quilt. And so then about the quilting, I know that you do your own quilting.
Right.
And so how do you decide what to put in all those empty spaces?
Well, that just kind of evolves too, but generally I start with something I want to use somewhere and try to carry that theme out. And some of the fabrics in this quilt, the beiges that I use, they're all different fabrics, and my quilting didn't show out there in that outer border like I wanted to. Plus I thought I needed a little more color, so I embroidered on top of the quilting lines with the blue thread to bring out the design.
So just to take a little longer to finish it up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, and then you made a million little circles.
I did.
So did you have a trick to make those so that they turned out so pretty?
I used Karen K. Buckley's technique and her little circle templates, and they turn out perfect.
They do when you use that.
Right.
Right. And of course they're machine appliqued on? Or
They're hand appliqued.
Hand appliqued on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I used the 100-weight kimono silk thread to applique and to do all of the background quilting. So it just makes it finer.
Well, and if you haven't tried silk thread for your applique, you really should, because it really makes your stitches well hidden.
It does.
It just buries right in there.
Just disappears, yeah. And in the quilting itself, it just makes you be able to do a lot finer work with 100-weight thread.
Okay, now are people going to be able to see this quilt over in the National Quilt Museum?
Absolutely. I am thrilled to have it hanging there.
All right, well, congratulations, Marilyn.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful quilt, and it is well deserving of the Janome Best of Show Award.
Thank
and
you
we
so
know
much.
we're going to see more quilts from you. I don't even have to ask.
Yeah, it might be a while, but I'm working on another one. Yeah.
Okay.